So far, there have been 2 short films from Heaven Official's Blessing. At the end of short film 2, they provided a sneak peek for what's coming in short film 3, something I briefly discussed in my previous video. For this video, I want to dive a little deeper into what content could be covered in future short films and how many films I think there will be overall. At the end, I will also share my opinion on whether or not we'll get a season 3 and beyond and how these short films may or may not impact those. So first things first, how many short films do I think there will be and what scenes do I think will be covered? Simply put, I think the frames seen in the opening of the short films are hints. In the first frame, we can see Huaan when he was little holding a red umbrella crying in front of a statue. We know this is the scene where a young Huaan had an outburst about his suffering in front of Xilian's statue, resulting in Xilian himself appearing to comfort him. This scene was already covered in short film 1, which included the parade where Xilian first met and saved him from a lethal fall. These moments in the first short film were told more from Huaan's perspective, unlike the novels which are written in third person, but technically more Xilian's point of view. In the second frame, we can see Huaan lighting lanterns. Novel readers know this is the scene from book 3 where Huaan lights 3,000 lanterns for Xilian. This is a beautiful moment for the couple as it's one of many acts displaying Huaan's devotion, as well as a sort of FU to the other heavenly officials that always won having the most lanterns lit for them in the past. I believe they'll once again just show it more from Huaan's perspective, which is different from the novel where Huaan wasn't even present from Xilian's point of view when the lanterns reached heaven. Seeing Huaan decide and work tirelessly to do this would be so special and extra cute if he happened to hire help from the ghosts in Ghost City. The third frame shows Hualian in the water together, and the fourth frame shows them then wearing red walking around the city. Now that we just got a teaser trailer for what short film 3 entails, I'm pretty sure it's covering what both of these frames depicted. This water scene in Heaven Official's Blessing is a major moment as it's the first time they essentially kiss. In the revised novels, Xilian is wearing his regular robes and uses a pillow to feign a pregnancy in order to attract a weird fetus spirit. This fetus spirit will try to enter you through basically any orifice, so Xilian makes an attempt to prevent the fetus spirit from getting inside him by jumping in the water. Worried about Xilian, Huaan leaps in after him and presses their lips together to transfer air, but we all know what else is going on. Afterward, Huaan apologizes for the forward contact and takes Xilian back to his manor to address his injured foot and give him a spare set of dry robes, which in the revised version are red. Once in red, just like the fourth frame was showing, I'm sure it'll depict the couple having more dialogue and possibly exploring Ghost City together in those outfits. This is what I discussed in my previous video, 5 details you might have missed from TGCF short film 2, so please go check that out as it does explicitly say a scene regarding them both wearing red will be covered in short film 3. Oh, and quick note, I'm probably going to do another video about my predictions regarding specifics in short film 3. What are we gonna get? Is it gonna be censored, uncensored? Who knows? We're gonna talk about it, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, in the fifth frame, we see what appears to be Hualian standing in a temple observing tapestries. This one was a little tougher for me to discern, as I remember moments where Xilian was helping Huaan learn to write calligraphy via poems. If anyone wants to jog my memory on that or offer other ideas, please let me know in the comments. These temple and or writing lesson moments would be adorable and easy to capture in a satisfying way for an 8-minute short. The sixth frame shows Hualian in a cave surrounded by other figures. This is most definitely the Cave of 10,000 Gods, as all the other figures appear to be Xilian himself. The Cave of 10,000 Gods is a place where Huaan, prior to reuniting with Xilian, spent years making artwork and statues of his beloved. Could this scene include the confession? Or maybe the hilarious extra where the statues go rogue? Oh, poor mooching. And the last scenic frame depicts Hualian sitting outside eating food together. This could once again be something we already saw in a short film like Chapter 2, where Huaan and Xilian eat sticky rice balls together during the Lantern Festival. Just like the fifth frame, I'm a little stumped on what else it could be, so I would love to hear anyone's theories. After having described the frames in the opening sequence and what scenes could possibly be being depicted, this makes me think that the amount of films could be per frame or a combination of 1 or 2, making the grand total of short films be anywhere from 5 to 7-ish. Now the last thing I said I would discuss in this video is whether or not we will get a season 3 of the Donghua, and if the Donghua does continue, do these short films impact those in any way? Rest assured, I'm someone who tends to have an optimistic outlook on these kinds of things. I have zero doubt we will have a completed Donghua of Heaven Official's Blessing, mostly taking into consideration the immense global popularity and profit that comes from that. It's also only been less than 2 years since the second season aired, so we are well within the average wait time frame for animated shows, and that's just for Japanese shows that may not always have the high quality and level of detail that Donghuas do. I think a normal wait period, considering that, as well as the extra hoops the animators animators have to go through to air any show in China is an average of 2 to 4 years. There are plenty of shows that have taken that long for a next season. I truly would only start to get a little nervous if we surpass the 4-year benchmark, and even then, it's still possible to get it eventually. As for whether or not I think the short film content will impact the show itself, I don't think it'll impact it in any negative way. If anything, it could possibly be a huge positive. Some people believe these scenes are going to entirely replace what we could expect to see in season 3 and beyond. I say nay, because first and foremost, the only scene so far that's been, quote, taken from season 3 is short film 1. And even then, it didn't show the entire thing that was depicted in the novel, which is quite a lengthy flashback, as well as the fact that it was from Huachang's perspective. Since that's how they already handled a specific scene, I think we can reasonably expect any future scenes in short films to function the same way. If they are going to be cut from the show itself and replaced in the short films, to me, that's only a positive, as it could be their way of depicting moments in a more explicit and romantic way, without fear of censorship striking down the entire series from finishing its adaptations. Just think about it, if the animators are limited in what they can do due to homophobic censorship laws, they possibly have a chance to make certain scenes and air them outside of the strictest censorship limitations via shorts on Weibo rather than a mainland show airing on TV. I personally would not be mad if the show is forced to stay incredibly censored and the short films are here to try and save the story. Rather than be nitpicky and attack the Donghua team, I am and will always be simply grateful for their clearly genuine efforts to do right by mxtx's work. Plus, if they're able to be more explicit via Weibo short films and world tour screenings like they've been doing, this allows Chinese fans to have a better chance to enjoy the material that originated in their country. I know a lot of people will say, why not just make it in another country, but you have to remember that when they do that, more often than not, that means the Chinese fans are excluded or have an even harder barrier to jump over in order to enjoy it too. And that's just frankly not fair to them. It sucks, but it is what it is. I trust that the Donghua team is simply doing the best they can with whatever limited options they have. And we know that mxtx approves everything, so try and stay positive. Well, I rambled enough, but hopefully all of this makes sense. Please feel free to discuss it in the comments, but remember to be kind and try not to be too negative and bring everyone else down with your worries. They are valid, but that doesn't mean they are reality. The truth is, we just don't know what will happen. I think the best thing we can do is keep realistic expectations, but stay hopeful and grateful for whatever we do get. That's it for this video. See you guys next time. Bye!